There you are, Cecil. I thought we'd been cut off from the world. I don't like to think of my public sitting around in their elasticated velour sweatpants, waiting hopelessly for me to come to their aid. Anyway, hello and welcome to episode 3 of Ida Levin's 50 Shades of Shietel, the podcast that puts the Mrs. Balls on your boerewors. I'm Ida Levin, and I'm speaking to you from my compact but beautifully manicured 1 3/4 acre estate in Berkhamsted Garden Suburbs, here in Hertfordshire. It's week 7 of our national confinement, and I'm sure some of us are starting to get irritated with our nearest and dearest. So today, I thought I would talk to you about family. Although you wouldn't think of it to look at me, I am the proud mother of 2 remarkable children who are the lights of my life. Now, my very good friends David and Victoria, that's the Beckhams for those of you who are not on first name terms with them, well, they named their children after the places they were conceived. Well, they got that idea from me. My 2 children are called Tufa and Erica. My lovely daughter Erica was conceived in the undergrowth on top of Table Mountain, and my son Tufa was brought to life halfway up Signal Hill in the back of my then husband's parents' Volvo 245 estate. The children's father was my first husband, Jaime Lipschitz. May he rest in peace. Now, Jaime was a lazy shit, and my firstborn, Tufa, has inherited his father's family trait. I mean, he wouldn't scratch his own testes if there was a friendly dog in the neighbourhood to do it for him. He still lives in Cape Town, where Cecil is paying him a retainer to catalogue his musical theatre LPs. I mean, he doesn't really seem too bothered by the lockdown. In fact, it was nearly a month before he had even noticed. Meanwhile, my daughter Erica, or Eric to her friends, is a lovely girl with a fuller figure and a taste for flat shoes. But at least she has some get up and go about her. In fact, a few years ago, she got up and went to Hollywood to work as a stunt double for Danny DeVito. And for a long time, she made a living taking Arnold Schwarzenegger's mini ponies out for their daily ride. But I'm very proud of her. She's now head of security for my good friends Harry and Meghan. Although, due to financial constraints, the rest of her team is just their 2 dogs. Now, I'm not saying I pulled some strings to get her to that position, but if it's good enough for Motsi Mabusi, it's good enough for my daughter. And speaking of Oti Mabusi, well, I'm not saying she isn't talented, but I've never liked her ever since Cecil cast her as the lead in Winnie Mandela the Musical. I mean, I told Cecil that part should have been mine. Mind you, I do like watching that celebrity tea dance show she's on. And I adore that nice boy, what's his name? Johannes Roddy Bibi. I told my good friend Claudia that I would take him for a cha-cha anytime. But then she told me he likes his boerewors grilled on a different braai. Shame, eh? You would have thought. So, if you are finding it hard getting through lockdown surrounded by your loved ones, take a tip from me. Don't have them hanging around the house with you. Go and live on a different continent at the very least. I mean, don't worry, my children are my inspiration and joy. Very much the dumplings in the chicken soup of my family. But now, if one of them calls, I can always pretend it's a dodgy connection and hang up. Well now, I hope I have brought a little bit of comfort to you in these very difficult times. Think of me as the damp patch in your social drought. And remember, you can't choose your family, but you can choose whether to friend them on Facebook. So, goodbye everybody for now. And don't forget to tune in to next week's episode of Ida Levin's 50 Shades of Shietel, where I shall be looking back at the VD celebrations and asking the question, Virulin, Dame or drag queen? All right, Cecil, you can switch me off. Cecil, put the pool boy down and switch me off. Thanks. See you later. Bye-bye.